urge the beneficiaries to establish robust mechanisms to protect these assets and prevent further illegal acquisition. The recovered land is located in various parts of the country, including Nairobi, Kisii, Nakuru, Bungoma, Kakamega, Uasin Gishu, and Kisii counties. I would like to take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude for the ongoing development of affordable housing in Nairobi city's industrial area off Enterprise Road. This development is taking place on land recovered by the EACC, and the beneficiaries will be many Kenyans who deserve economic inclusion. This land, measuring 21 hectares, had been unlawfully taken from the Meteorological Department by private individuals. The recovery of such assets reaffirms Kenya's commitment to upholding the Constitution and fulfilling its obligation as a member of the international community under the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, corruption is a serious threat to our nation. It undermines service delivery, weakens public policy, compromises the public interest, and erodes our institutions, depriving the government of capacity to secure the country and deliver development. Corruption endangers all of us, both individually and collectively. As I have previously committed, we are working on a series of amendments to present to Parliament aimed at promoting accountable leadership and integrity in governance. Among these is the proposal to the Evidence Act and the Criminal Procedure Code, along with other relevant legislative updates to statutes concerning corruption. These amendments will expedite the investigation and prosecution of corruption and economic crimes, ensuring that such cases are concluded within 6 months. I made this commitment, and the Attorney General is seized with the necessary work that will go into us engaging Parliament on the amendments to achieve this aim. Additionally, we will propose amendments to the Witness Protection Act to revamp the statutory and institutional framework for protecting and incentivizing whistleblowers. These changes will enhance witness protection and make it easier and safer for citizens to report corruption and other criminal activities. We will also be proposing amendments to the Public Finance Management Act and the Public Procurement and Disposal Act. The goal here is to overhaul the institutional and operational framework of public procurement, which is the biggest challenge that we have. In fact, it's correct to say this is where the devil actually lives, which has been identified as a key area of corruption, conflict of interest, and abuse of office in the public sector. These amendments aim to deploy digital infrastructure to create an open, transparent public procurement platform, allowing real-time, end-to-end public visibility of the entire process, from advertisement to contract award. Number 4, I have engaged with parliamentary leadership and urged Parliament to swiftly pass the Conflict of Interest Bill. I am told there is a mediation process that is going on in Parliament, but I have told them with clarity that I will veto any bill that does not establish a high standard of accountability, integrity, and anti-corruption measures, and I will fully exercise my powers under Article 115 of the Constitution to ensure that the bill meets the rigorous standards set out in the original draft bill. Because some amendments have been introduced to water down what the original bill envisaged. We must do everything within our power to end corruption in every organization, at every level of government, and across all regions of our republic. To this end, everyone entrusted with public authority must be held to high standards of transparency and accountability. Parliament and all stakeholders must work together to strengthen the anti-corruption legal framework, ensuring the swift resolution of corruption cases. We must also foster partnership to raise public awareness of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, integrate anti-corruption education into school curriculum, and support grassroots organizations and citizen action groups in promoting good governance at every level. I commend the EACC for its dedication in the fight against corruption, and I want to confirm to both the Chair, the Commission, and the CEO that they have my government's full support, and we commend you for what you have achieved. We know there are challenges, budgetary challenges, but the one item that I insisted that should not face the budget cuts that we were going through is the EACC, because I know the importance and relevance of what you do in safeguarding public assets and public property. On a positive side, the officers that move from EACC to join other government agencies is actually a testimony that you have some of the best, and that is why others come for them. Continue to train high-quality staff, even if you lose some of them to other government agencies, because the fight against corruption must not only be limited to EACC, it must be an exercise of the whole of government, that we manage, deal, and eliminate corruption in its forms, all forms. Let me also assure you that I have heard what the CEO has said passionately about staff at the EACC and what needs to happen. We will continue to look at the frameworks that exist, the salaries and commission is seized with all these matters, and we must continue to respect the salaries commission, because they help us manage the resources that we have within the exigencies of all the requirements that come from all departments. But taking into account what the CEO has said and what EACC is doing in protecting public property, I think it is an engagement worth having with the Salaries Commission. So we will look at the opportunities available, and as we turn around our economy, and I'm very happy with the progress that we have made, we should be able to make additional resources available for EACC to continue the good job that they are doing. I also want to state categorically that the other measures that we have proposed from the Evidence Act to Witness Protection Act to Public Procurement Act, these are time-bound, and I want to ask the Office of the Attorney General to expedite these pieces of legislation so that we can strengthen our legal framework in the fight against corruption and protect public property. I am a great believer in building these institutions and allowing the institutions to execute their mandate. The chairman here will tell you who was my pastor before he retired, that I have never called him to tell him anything about what he is supposed to do with the corrupt, because I am a great believer that institutions should deal with their issues and manage the mandate that they have and deal with any matter, anybody, every person in the manner in which the law provides, because at the bottom of the line is that we are a country of the rule of law, and each and every one of us must subject themselves to the rule of law. Otherwise, if we have different rules for different people, we will end up with the animal farm. And I don't think that is where we want to take our country. And so my ask also of our judiciary is to expedite the corruption cases, and indeed every other matter in court, in a manner that gives the country the opportunity to move forward, to make decisions, to recover what we can recover, and to allow the country to move forward. I know indicated to me the budgetary challenges that they have, and I think it's the case with all our other institutions. And it is a bigger statement as to what we need to do as Kenyans on how to make sure that we use the resources we have in a very prudent manner, and we also find ways and means of ensuring that we have sufficient resources and we account for them. Whatever taxes Kenyans pay, we must account for them so that we can have the opportunity to grow the pie for us to be able to meet all the expenses and all the budgetary allocations that are being requested of us from different institutions. I also wish to say that we should have a whole-of-government approach when we are discussing resources. And we must all be alive to the fact that resources are raised. And so we must all contribute to making sure that we have the requisite resources to be able to meet all the needs and the requirements of all the institutions that support our governance structure and provide the resources for the development of our country. I am very confident that working together between the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, as we have undertaken, we should be able to move the country pretty fast into the next level. So again, I commend EACC, and I want to assure them that we will continue to undertake necessary reforms to strengthen oversight institutions and improve service delivery to all the people of Kenya. And I'm asking all arms of government to work together in concert to make sure that we not only raise the resources that are necessary for us to run the affairs of our nation, but resources raised must also be protected by all of us, making sure that we account for every tax that is paid for by the people of Kenya, and those who corruptly acquire them are made to pay, and assets and properties and resources recovered in the manner in which EACC have done. So thank you very much. My very best wishes. And again to EACC, congratulations.